Fletcher, Chief Growth Officer at Cypress North. We're a digital agency in Buffalo, New York, and you're listening to the Agency Scoop. Each episode, I'll tackle a specific topic from an agency point of view. We're going to talk about what's helping us grow, challenges that we face, how we're working with our clients, and even things that bring us joy. Welcome to this month's episode of the Agency Scoop. Today I'm going to talk about how we've grown as an agency through supporting our team members' interests and things that they like to do. So a few years ago, our marketing team focused mainly on PPC and SEO and other forms of digital marketing. But we had an employee that came, and in his past experience, he had done a lot of CRM work and work on marketing automation platforms and really brought that expertise to the agency and said, we should do this here. So he was really helpful in training a lot of our other employees, growing that service, and allowing us to offer it to our clients and prospects. So now other members of our team have picked that up. They love doing it, and they do a great work with it, and it's a huge value to our clients. And so by taking his perspective and adding something that he's interested in into our service offering, we're able to really expand everyone on our team's knowledge and what they can offer and grow the agency at the same time as it's another service that we can provide. So it's easy when someone comes in with experience and knows the topic that they want to express interest in. But sometimes, especially while all companies are remote right now, some employees don't just come out with these feelings or opinions. They may just feel bored or unfulfilled, not excited about what they're working on. And instead of proactively going to a manager during the day-to-day work, they might just go find a new job that sounds more interesting and quit before you even have the chance to change anything. So here's what we do to try to mitigate that. Our strategy really has two positive outcomes. We want to have fulfilled, engaged employees that feel supported and that are working on things that interest them and what they like to work on. And of course, that improves our employee retention. And we also are able to explore other areas of interest that in turn grow our services, what we can offer clients, grow deeper expertise within our staff members. So it's a really great way to help grow the agency and also just really support our employees. So this may sound really simple and basic, but what we started doing instead of annual reviews is we do regular growth meetings, is what we call them, where we meet with our marketing team members either monthly or bi-monthly to really have a level set and make that time just about them and their growth goals. So we have an ongoing document with each person that has their goals documented, things that they'd like to learn, experiences they'd like to have, things that they feel they don't have enough experience in and would like to get better at. And in these meetings every month, we check in to see what progress has been made against those goals, what they're doing, if they like the work that they're doing, if they're struggling in any ways, and if there's ways that we could better support them in the work that they're currently assigned, as well as the things that they have on the horizon. And we focus on those goals and come up with ways to work on them. So we use those meetings as a checkpoint to see what they've done to get closer to their goals or if anything has changed. So for example, if someone really wants to work on their communication skills and public speaking, we may make recommendations like, let's join a Toastmasters group, or we can schedule practice meetings throughout the week so that you can practice your presentation on other team members for 15 minutes and we'll give you feedback. So we'll make tangible items that can get them closer to their goal. And then in the next meeting, check on, did we do that? Are there other things that we could be doing? Have your goals changed at all? Is there something different that you'd like to work on now or that you found out about that you're really interested in? And so these meetings have been a really great way for us to pull that out of our people and understand what they want to work on, as well as help support them in doing that. And so, for example, one of the members of our team realized that she really loves technical SEO, and she's been attending courses. She joined a Women in SEO group to get better at it and to really practice it. But what we realized as we were having these meetings, she was mainly on PPC-focused accounts and wasn't able to really use those skills as much as she would like, even though she was learning a lot about it. So we were able, through these meetings, every time we met, we talked about her account load, and we were able to make some adjustments to switch her with some other people to let her work on more SEO focused accounts and get her more of that work she likes, whether it's through ongoing accounts or one-off projects that we're doing. And that is helpful in the long term as she continues to grow in that skill set and gets to practice it. And we'll continue to check in and see if things have changed, if she still likes it, because frankly, many people don't, but we'll continue to do that. So that leads into our Q&A today with Sarah Burke, who's our data and analytics manager here at Cypress North. Her career has really evolved over the past 6 years because she determined she had a passion and interest in data. So when she came to the team and said, I really want to focus my career on data and analytics, not necessarily just PPC and SEO, we're going to talk through how we supported her through that journey, how her career has evolved, and what the future looks like for her here at Cypress North with the data and analytics team. Hey, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on the Agency Scoop today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, I was hoping we could talk a little bit about your background. So tell us about what you did before you came to Cypress North.
Yeah, so before Cypress North, I worked somewhere for 2.5 years doing SEO only. So that was my first job out of college before I came here.
Okay. And then what did you do when you first came here?
Yeah, so I started here as a digital marketer. So I was still doing a little SEO and I learned PPC. And then after a few years of doing that, I went into the digital marketing manager role where I was managing my own accounts and client relationships. And that also kind of gave me more flexibility to explore different areas. So that's really when I was able to dive into data and analytics more. And I was responsible for finding answers to these questions that the clients had. And I really had to troubleshoot and dig into things. And I love doing that. I would get into like a complete flow state trying to figure something out. And it's still my favorite thing to do. I love helping the other marketers here figure out issues and find those solutions. So that's kind of when I started to look into the data and analytics master's programs as well. So I did that for 2 years while I was still in the manager role and kind of using what I was learning in school and my job. And then I became the data and analytics manager when I graduated.
Great. Well, what got you so interested in analytics and excited about it?
I kind of realized that was my favorite part of my job. So I was just seeing how I could dive deeper into it. I love a challenge and problem solving. So there's kind of always a new puzzle to be solved. And I like that it kind of offers support for our recommendations to clients, and it makes them feel more confident in our recommendations when they can see why we want to do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. So what made you make that decision to go back to school for it when you were already doing a lot of it in your job?
I was kind of looking for what my next challenge would be. So I just started to kind of look around online and look at a few different options. And at the time, at least in the Buffalo area, the data and analytics master's program was very new. So I had never heard about it. But once I looked into it, it was a lot of stuff that I was interested in learning about.
Great. So how has that helped you in your career once you finished that program or even as you were going through it?
Yeah, it's helped me a lot. I've learned a ton from the program. And I think that's one of the coolest things about it is a lot of the stuff I wasn't able to use until I graduated and kind of learn these full concepts that took years to learn, like running machine learning models and how to prep the data and how to run them and which one to use and how to make sure they're accurate. Like that wasn't something I could use the next day. But there is a lot that I learned throughout the program too that I was able to use. So just different Excel functions, and I didn't even know how to make a pivot table in Excel, but it's stuff that I could just bring in the next day and I use all the time still.
That's great. So now that you are graduated and you've pivoted into this full data and analytics position here, we're launching the 4th division of Cypress North with you leading it. Where do you see opportunities for this division with our current clients?
Yeah, so we've advanced a lot in the reporting that we can offer. So traditionally, we've done pretty much all of our reporting in Google Data Studio, which I still use all the time and love. But we've been able to expand that and offer reporting in Power BI and Tableau and different platforms that a client may already be using or need a more robust solution like that. And then to just the content of those reports. So depending on what the client is looking for in that end report, it might require us to look at how the data is being collected and stored, how it's connecting into the reporting platform, and making sure all of that is set up the right way to display it how they want it. So kind of just tackling these more complex challenges as well. And then also branching out from just marketing analytics. So traditionally, that's what we have focused our analytics on to support the marketing department. But we can kind of take any data at this point and analyze it or create dashboards from it. So not just focusing on marketing now as well.
It seems like we were able to connect with a lot of our clients' Power BI or Tableau and get different types of data streams that maybe in the past we were only using Google Analytics or Google Ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you see opportunities with companies we haven't worked with in the past that maybe they don't have a big marketing budget, but they have other data needs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the opportunities are kind of everywhere, depending on where the company is with their data initiatives. So maybe they're a new business that just launched a website and they need help getting all the tracking and data collection set up. Maybe they're a larger company that's been collecting data and hasn't done anything with it. So we can dive into that and offer some analysis that might help them operate more efficiently or provide insights that could help their marketing be more effective, automating reports that they're manually doing in Excel right now and kind of saving them time with that. So all different things.
Great. So what types of services are we going to offer as Cypress North from our data division?
Yeah, kind of all different parts of the process. So starting with data collection and storage, cleaning, going into website analytics, so getting Google Analytics set up. GA4 has been a hot topic that a lot of people have been looking for help with, making sure all the tracking is in place. And then, like I said before too, it doesn't have to just be marketing data. So creating all different types of dashboards for any sort of business intelligence, and again, Power BI, Tableau, Data Studio, we can make those recommendations or stick with a platform that someone's already using. And then data analysis is a big one too, again, for those companies that have all this data that haven't really utilized it yet.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that we've been talking a lot about is bringing in data from different places and integrating it. And I see that as a big opportunity where there's a lot of companies that have data in one system and data in another, and they don't know how to connect it.
Yeah, that's been huge right now, and people are very interested lately in kind of connecting that user journey. So figuring out a way to bring in all those data streams from one place and connect all those touch points in the user journey to then where they are in the funnel and how they ended up turning into a client and what their value is and getting that full picture.
So right now, what is your vision for this department and how it will grow?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll eventually have a team of people working on data projects full time, maybe some specializing in certain areas, and just create a really collaborative and passionate team that can learn from each other and build some really useful things for our clients.
Great. So before we close out, quick lightning round question: GA Universal or GA4?
That's a tough one. I'm really excited about GA4, so I'm going to go with GA4.
Great. About your previous life, PPC or SEO?
PPC.
What is your favorite data visualization software?
Tableau.
What is your favorite metric? And this is how you know you're a real data weirdo when you have one.
I'm going to go with a new one from GA4, the engaged session.
Okay, well, what is that?
It's more than just a session from Universal Analytics. It's when it lasts longer than 10 seconds, has one or more conversion event, or has 2 or more views.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you know
the person's engaged.
Yeah, you know they want to be there on your website. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I wanted to have you here to talk about this, month 1 of having this new department, and hopefully you can come back and update us, month 20, month 100, and tell us how things have evolved, what you're working on, what you're doing.
Would love to. Thank
you. Well, how can our listeners find you?
I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Twitter as Data by Sarah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks, Jill.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Agency Scoop. If you liked what you heard, you can subscribe so you don't miss a show. You can also find us on the Cypress North YouTube channel or follow the Agency Scoop on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'd love to hear your ideas for future topics. See see you next time on the Agency Scoop.